Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. We're so happy to have you here this afternoon as we are on day 3 of CS Ed Week as we celebrate our partnership with our friends at Smart Tech using Lumio as we go through and have some fun with the Smart Monster. So my name is John Shoemaker. I'm from the Department of Educational Technology, part of the School District of Palm Beach County. And we want to thank you all for being here. And before we get started and get in with the action, we always like to just to talk a little bit about how everything works with this platform if you're new to us. So if you've never been here before, please feel free to use the chat box over there on the right to communicate with us. We have some great people in the chat who have wrenches next to their name, which are our moderators from the Ed Tech team. They're there to answer questions or, kick out some of the people who don't want to be here. Also, while you're here, don't forget to like and subscribe down below. We are so happy we got to 5,000 subscribers already. That's so awesome. And when you like and subscribe, that will actually feed your YouTube channel or your YouTube feed with all of the content that we do. So please don't forget that. And then in the very top right corner of this slide, don't forget to share out on social media. So we are on Twitter at EdTechPVC. And this week we're using the hashtag CS Everywhere. So all the stuff that you're doing, those awesome things at your school, first of all, thank you for sharing them on Twitter. We've seen some awesome things that you guys are doing out there with your students. But please don't forget to keep tagging us with our hashtag, with the CS Everywhere hashtag, and then also with our Twitter handle so we can see them as well. And then we'll also use that to amplify your voices. And so before we get started, we're going to catch that monster. I want to thank our monster catcher because I caught my monster. He got it for me, and I now have him in my care that I'm keeping. So hopefully we're going to catch your favorite monster today as well. So as we get started, I'm going to introduce one of our friends from Smart. She's one of our Smart trainers. So please help me welcome Dima Martin, and she's going to go through the Lumio side of this lesson on Catch the Monster. Take it away, Dima.
Perfect. Thank you. So welcome to day 3, lesson 3, Catch the Monster. I again am Dima Martin with Smart. I'm going to have you first start by joining my class. We are in Lumio today. To have you join my class, I'm going to click on this people icon in the top left corner. My name and class ID is at the top. So you're going to navigate to hellosmart.com and enter my class ID, which is 997795. Again, 997795. And while you're getting joined in, I'm just going to go over our computer science standards and objectives that we're going to be covering today in the Catch the Monster activity. Today, students will be able to use coding blocks to generate random numbers. Also, students will be able to generate or create variables to store data, and students will be able to experience the role of timing in their algorithms by introducing delays. So Lumio is the platform I'm in today. Lumio is a new name for Smart Learning Suite Online, so maybe you have some experience with that. It is our, again, online lesson delivery platform that we have at Smart. As a teacher, I can click on this people icon and I can see my students that have joined into my class. So being able to monitor them live in real time is an amazing feature of Lumio. So again, we are outside today. We are going to be catching monsters, but to get prepared for our outside journey, what is your favorite outdoor game? Growing up, I played basketball, so basketball is probably my favorite outdoor game, but I do love a great game of hide and seek. So that's what we're going to be learning about today in this activity. So as of now, I see I have quite a few joined into my class. So I have a collaborative workspace, which is one of our features in Lumio. I can create or convert any item or any page into a workspace. With that workspace, students will be able to interact and engage in that lesson collaboratively, whether they're in a small group or whole group. So as a teacher, I'm going to press Set Up. And I could have you divide into teams. I can have up to 9 small groups. But for this purpose, I'm going to have everyone on one team. So we are all going to work together to catch some monsters. So in Lumio, for this particular activity, we are going to erase to reveal the hidden monsters. On the left side of my screen and on the left side of your screen, if you are logged in, you have different annotation tools. I see some erasing happening. Third option now is an eraser. So click on that eraser, choose your eraser size, and begin revealing those monsters. I see all the erasing going on. So again, collaborative workspace, we're able to work together to complete this activity. And again, I'm able to see this live in real time as a teacher. Once we uncover some monsters, we are going to use that coordinate plane that we learned about a little yesterday and identify the location of the various monsters. So I see a monster here, and we're going to identify that point and then place it into over here on the right-hand side. So this is a wonderful activity that if you are a teacher, you have this lesson saved that you can do with your students, and you can have them in small group or whole group where they are revealing and uncovering those monsters. I'm going to turn my page now, but before I turn my page, I also like to mention with this people icon in the top left corner, another option with Lumio is I could change the lesson pacing at any time during my lesson. I can navigate between teacher and student pacing. Teacher pacing means I am showing what my students are seeing, whatever page I'm on, my students are on as well. With student pacing, my students are able to navigate independently. So I'm going to turn my page now. So if you are still erasing, your screen is going to change in just a moment. On this next page, we have one of our game-based activities, which is our match 'em up. So if you are not familiar with Scratch, try to explore some of the features that are available that you're going to see today in this lesson and get acquainted with that. All right, so I am going to get started, let you all get started with catching some monsters. So I'm going to pass it on to our master, Monster Hunter.
Hi, I am so glad to see you guys. We're actually on day 3 of our Lumio hashtag STBC Code Club, and we are so glad that you're here. And I hope you're loving the Scratch activities because the kids that we've been working with, the students at our schools, are just loving these activities and creating all sorts of things. Today, we're going to play hide and seek with the monsters, and we're going to hide them and try to find them. We're going to turn it into a game. So I hope you're ready. All right, so we're going to get started. So I'm going to go over to my screen, and like we've done all week long, we are just going to take our little kitty cat there, our Scratch cat, and remove him. And we are going to start with a backdrop today. So we're going to go and look for an outdoor backdrop. So I'm going to click on outdoors. And let's see, let's go to the forest here. There's the forest. And if you follow the Lumio lesson, it actually will, when you click remix, it will bring it over your monsters, your Lumio monsters. But I'm actually going to import one right now from my computer. So I'm going to go to downloads, and I'm going to go to monsters, and I'm going to look for Crystal, I think is what my character, oh yeah, this Crystal. And so we're going to upload this Crystal there, and I'm going to reduce him a little bit. I'm going to make him 50%. And there we go. And so here we go. So what we're going to do today is we're going to code where Crystal goes and plays hide and seek. And then when we click on him, we can actually earn points. And then the challenge today is that you're going to be using coding to add more monsters and play more games. And so that's the challenge if you're up to it. So let's start off with our first coding block, which is when the green flag is clicked, it's time to get started. And so that you always have to start somewhere. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go over to control, and we're going to pull up our loops. Yesterday we learned a little bit about loops, and we use the repeat loop. Now today we're going to use a forever loop, which means it's going to keep going forever. forever. And you notice that the forever loop has a empty thing there. So that's where the coding blocks for the forever. So everything that happens in that is going to go into those blocks. That's the forever loop. And one thing I wanted to introduce to you today is that if you ever make mistakes, and you always test your code, that's what coders do, they test their code, and you find some mistakes, we don't freak out. We debug. That's a great term, is debug, is finding your errors and working them out. So there is our forever loop right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure we clicked on this because we want the coding to affect Crystal here. So we're going to go to the purple tab, and I'm going to go and I'm going to say, I'm going to hide Crystal. That's the first thing we're going to do. And then we're going to go back here to the, I think it's the yellow ones here. I want to make sure. All right, so we're going to tell it to wait. No, it's actually the control. And you see how when I move the block, it expands. And so it says wait 1 second. So we're going to tell him to hide for 1 second. And then we're going to go back to the purple cubes and we're going to say show. There we go. So now we have hide and show, hide and seek. There we go. All right. Then we're going to go back to the control and say wait 1 second. I got to make sure it goes in after that. And now let's test this code. So I can come over here to the green flag. I can click, pop, and there he comes back. Click stop, and there he is. You can actually set, if you want to see him, there he is. If you want to hide him, you can do that as well. All right. So now we're going to change gears a little bit, and we're going to tell him to jump around. And so that means pulling up a motion block. Motion means movement or moving to. Yesterday we used the glide to into the X and Y. You remember the Cartesian point with the graphing? So we're going to say go to random position. Where is that? Go to, there it is. And it's going to go in that same repeat loop. It's going to go after the wait. And then I'm going to say back to the purple, and I'm going to tell him to show. There we go. And then, let's see, we did another wait 1 second. There we go, pull that over. All right, so let's test this to see if it's going to work. All right, so now Crystal is like moving around and he's hiding as soon as he moves. But wouldn't it be cool if we could turn this into a game? So what we're going to do is we're going to create another set of coding. We're going to stop this. And we're going to create another set of coding to actually keep score. So we're going to go up here to the events. And when it says, let's see, when the sprite clicked, there we go. We'll move it down here. And then we're going to go back to a purple one to hide. There we go. And then we're going to go back to a variable now. The variable is something different. So we need to have a variable that says score. So I can create a new variable, make a variable, and we call this score. Click on OK. And set score. There we go. There it is. So I'm going to move this one down here. And I'm going to change the variable to score. And it's going to go up by 1. So what's this going to do? It has my score right there. And so every time I click on that monster, it will change my score. So you want to try it? All right. Let's try it. All right, so he's disappearing. Oh gosh, he's slippery thing. I haven't got 1 point yet. Oh, there's 1 point. Yay! All right, come on. Oh, he's quick devil. And I'm not doing very good at this game. Come on, John, you can do better than this. Oh, come on. One more point. All right. Oh, you know what? I think there's something wrong. It says sketch scored a 1. I just debugged my problem. Let's click this block and let's go change by 1. I think that's the one, right? Yeah. Change score by 1. All right. Let's see if I figured it out. All right. Oh, yay, 2. All right, 3, 4. All right, so you get the gist of all this. So here's the challenge. Can you add more monsters and make it a real game? And also, can you set a timer? That's the challenge. We're going to see if our students today actually can get that far. We're going to turn it over to our friends at Discovery Key who are live right now, and they're actually going to try this coding program right now. So we're going to turn it over to my friend Tasha Burke-Peart, who's going to talk to us a little bit about what's going on at Discovery Key. Tasha?
Hi everyone. Yes, I am here from Discovery Key Elementary, and we are in the Media Center, the beautiful Media Center. You see that wonderful maker space back there in the back. And we have the Library Media Specialist, Ms. Craven. She is with Ms. Provenzano's 5th grade class. I have my helpers over there making sure that I pronounce it correctly. And they are currently working on the Scratch programming right now. So I'm going to turn the mic over around so that we can see them actively working. We have the lesson over there, and they are working on some Scratch coding, trying to catch those monsters, hide the monsters and catch them. Let's see if I can walk up a little closer to see what we're doing. So you see the students are actively engaged. Not a sound. You guys are so quiet. Working together in groups. Just like Mr. Long had the slight bug in his, they're debugging. What's going on over here? Oh my gosh, his is already ready. I don't know if we can see that, but he's already running his program over here, which is awesome. Got those monsters going. So I am going to, in a minute, turn it back to Mr. Long so that I can interview a couple of the students. I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear from you guys and hear how that is going with the Scratch coding. So while Mr. Long gets organized, I think we could take it back to Mr. Shoemaker.
Thank you, Tasha. Okay, so I want to talk to you about the computational thinking because we were talking about why teach coding in school. Well, there's a lot of really cool stuff that you can learn in coding. And the students at Discovery Key are doing an amazing job. One kid already did the multiple monsters in like 5 minutes. It's just amazing how easy he did. But you see how we do things with the forever loops and stuff like that? There's a lot of that where you're repeating different processes in math problems and solving math equations and stuff like that. There's sequencing into this where they're talking about that. They're telling a story. You got to organize your thoughts and tell a story if you're going to make a product to sell to people. And so there's a lot going on with what you're doing with a score. And it's kind of fun. And so you're doing all kinds of really things. And that's that computational thinking where you're thinking about different variables. Like we had to create a variable to take the score. You have to create a variable to talk about a timer and stuff like that. So you're using time. And so you're applying everything that you've learned into all kinds of different learning activities. And so that's why computational thinking is very important. And we should be teaching in schools because it applies what you're learning in your schools. And so let's see if we can go over to back to Discovery Key and hear from some of those students.
Oh, there we go. Thank you, Jen. So I'm here with, what's your name?
Eli.
Eli. And Eli is going to just talk to us a little bit about the activity. Eli, thank you. You're right in the camera. I am not. Thank you.
Okay,
So, Eli, so tell me, how do you like this activity and what's your favorite part?
it's fun, and I love how it's like a clicking experience and it's difficult. I already have some past experience with Scratch, so I use it pretty much every day, and it's just fun to use and everything.
That's a wonderful answer. I love it. And it sounds like you have a long future ahead of you learning some coding. Thank you, Eli, right?
Yeah.
Eli, thank you. Next
nice
up, we
day.
have
Annabella.
Annabella. Annabella, what was your favorite part of the activity today?
I like setting up all of the controls and stuff. It's really nice that you can do whatever you want on there, and you could choose what you want to do,
And you can see it actually work or not work. And if it doesn't work, what do?
you can just change it.
You can just change it. I love it. Thank you very much, Annabelle. And now we have
Aiden.
Aiden, so talk to me about why do you like coding?
Well, personally, I like it because I've seen so many games on, and I wanted to know how they made it. So
What better way to know than to
Better way,
learn?
yeah.
Absolutely, and to make
So,
your own games.
I like to learn because eventually I might want to try making my own game.
Awesome. I love it. And make some money, right?
too. Yeah, I'm more in it for trying.
The fun.
Yeah.
I love it. The right answer. This is awesome. So come on, and your name?
Lexi.
Lexi. So Lexi, tell me, what do you think about coding and in your future? Do you see it in your future?
I do. I personally like coding because it's like fun and the experience of it, creating your own monsters and
Mhm.
creating what they could do
Mm-hmm.
is really fun for me. And also, I kind of want to be an inventor, so this kind of helps.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Get those wheels turning
Yeah.
in here. That is so great. Thank you so much, Lexi. And next up we have
John.
John. So talk to me, John. How do you like this activity today in coding week?
It's fun.
It's fun.
I like it because it just like it's hard to explain.
I know, because it's a lot. It's a lot in here. There's a lot of different things that you have to do to get it to work, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm really glad that you took the time to talk to us today and let us know how you feel about the coding. And so you can go back and join the class. I'm going to ask Miss Craven to come on and join us. The kids seem to really enjoy this activity. Is there anything that you'd like to share? How easy it is for other media specialists or teachers to get involved with Coding Week?
Absolutely. Coding is so important because we don't have enough coders in this world, and these kids love it. So to expand on it and let them realize that this could be a job for them is really important. And Lumio and Smart, and they make it easy step by step to share these lessons with the students. And they did an amazing job. I'm really proud of them.
Thank you.
Sure.
So yes, we're here from Discovery Key, and the kids are still doing their coding, actively engaged. We're going to turn it back to John.
Hi, and welcome back. So we want to show you where these amazing lessons that our friends at Smart have created using Lumio. And for this Lumio hashtag SDBBC's Code Club, there are some great tools. So head on to our website at edtechtraining.palmbeachschools.org, and you'll notice that we've got tons of stuff here. And we also have our Hour of Code Palm Beach. It's actually always on our website. It's our site that we've had for a number of years. and it gets buried a little bit, but we'll keep it up here for a few weeks and maybe into the new year and stuff like that. But this is where you want to go. And when you get to this site, it has all of the different activities that we've had for years. We've had stuff where you can go to our codes.website. We actually have a great slideshow here of activities that our own teaching and learning department, a division, have created and aligned to the scope and sequences ranging on math, science, ELA, social studies, arts, and PE. There's all kinds of stuff. And if you go back here, but wait, we want to know about the smart lessons. So we're going to come up here, and this is where you're going to access this. If you click on this button right here, it's going to take you to Code Week 2021, which is on our Smart Interactive Display website. And this is where you're going to find detailed copies of all the lesson plans. The Lumio activities are linked there. They're hyperlinks, so you don't have to go hunt for them. And you can add them to your library. This is from Rock Band, the first day. And this is where Catch the Monster is for today's lesson. Tomorrow is Boat Race. And so, ahoy, we're going to be out on the sea tomorrow. And then Friday is Paint Box. But I wanted to let you know that there are unplugged activities down here. These are like handouts that you can send home with the kids. They don't require any technology for the kids to actually practice the coding skills that they learned today. So I wanted to show that with you. And so this is where all the lesson plans and the unplugged activities. You can find the unplugged activities as well embedded into the lessons. One more thing I want to share with you is that this STPBC Code Club playlist will have all the videos from this week, including our panel discussions. We have a panel discussion tomorrow, and I'm going to take it over to John Shoemaker to kind of wrap things up and kind of close this out.
Thanks, John. I appreciate it. And so thank you, Tasha. Thank you, Dima, for joining us and sharing lessons with us. And we just hope you guys out there who are watching, even those of you on the recording, we see you guys too. Thanks for joining us and watching the recording. Please go and grab those lessons. And like we said, they do walk you step by step through each of the activities, starting with the really easy Rock Band on Monday, just adding your monster and giving them an instrument and making some music as we go complex and adding more complexity every day this week. So it's a great way to introduce all of this to your students, and it doesn't take a lot of time either. So thank you for joining us on that. As John said, tomorrow for elementary, we have another installment of the Smart Monsters called Boat Race. And also tomorrow morning, nice and early at 8:45, we're actually going to have some former students who graduated from Palm Beach County and are now in college, and they are learning to go to school for computer science. So even though it's more geared towards secondary students, anyone's welcome to join and listen in to these students and maybe be inspired by someone to continue the journey into coding after you get to high school and beyond. So as always, on behalf of the Department of Educational Technology and the training team and the whole team as a whole, we thank you for being here, and we hope you go and catch all those monsters. And don't forget to show us what you're doing on social media. Share it at EdTechPBC with the hashtag CSEverywhere. So thanks again. Have a great week, and we hope to see you again tomorrow. Bye, everyone.